Let me drop the link for that.
Is that John?
I think.
Yeah, if you go to our YouTube channel, it should be broadcasting on the channel, I hope.
Okay, in 8 minutes it says.
Oh, okay, so it'll actually start. We are live. It should start. Maybe it hasn't really started. Let me make sure there's nothing I need to do here. This is totally not the way I do our Hangout broadcast, so for me this is very, very bizarre.
Is that John?
I think.
What? Yeah, if you go to our YouTube channel, it should be broadcasting on the channel, I hope.
Okay, in 8 minutes it says.
Oh, okay, so it'll actually start.
It just popped up on my screen.
We are live. It should start. Maybe it hasn't really started. Let me make sure there's nothing I need to do here. This is totally not the way I do our Hangout podcast. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's us. So turn that down, and we're going to have serious echo issues.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's just so. Anybody that follows this live will chat in the comment stream, and we can engage with them, and that's the essential basics of what makes this great, actually. So, Dana, where are you? I just dropped you the link. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
And what's your last name so I have an idea of where you are or who you are?
Van Was.
Oh, hey. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am still trying to figure out who everybody is and get all that organized in my head. So apologies if I have bad names or wrong names or any of that stuff. So am I right, Chris? Are you the gentleman who is going to be at Madison?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so we have Ryan. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to have kind of a triage news session here, and let me see. I need to send you what? Well, let's see. I got a billion things to think here. I need to get Dana in here. She's coming. And to anybody that's watching live, if you are, this is open. Anybody's welcome to be a part of the network. It's volunteer-driven. This is volunteer decisions made as well. I don't know what kind of a structure we're actually going to have, but I want all the decisions to be done by vote. And we can set that up through Google Forms. Right now, we're really just doing a triage organization because we need to set some rules very quickly so that we can accomplish a broadcast at Madison on Wednesday. After that, we will use that to put things in more of a long-term perspective.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So, and I don't know where Dana goes. Where she went. All right, I'll leave it at this. Here's what I have. Or thank you all. I'm John. I've talked to several of you in chat and whatnot. Here's where we stand. Rich has been working on graphics for us. Logo, basic color palette, media elements. We now have another partner with us named John Papa. He's a musician and has a broadcast studio in, I want to say, Rhode Island. And he is going to take the material that Rich makes and he's going to turn it into motion graphics for our news station. So I just want to say right off the bat that it's working. Like, everybody is donating what they can, doing what they can, and I don't want to keep it like that way. I want to keep money out of it as much as possible. And if we can keep this volunteer, if we can keep this volunteer, then everybody donates what they can, and it's fantastic. Does that sound good to everybody?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's another gentleman named M. Hine. I don't know what his first name is, actually. He's contacted me. He says he's looking into some entities for funding, but he's talking about expense account funding, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, so it has nothing to do with the campaign or anything like that. Somebody, you know, setting up like a GoFundMe, and Dana is working on this as well. says call is unavailable. Hang on a second. Dana's having technical issues getting in here. So we may end up with, once we get past the Madison thing, we may end up with some kind of a funding site that would allow us to do things like send mobile equipment to places, pay for food and travel if we're going to have a roaming reporter be somewhere, right? Things like that, and that's kind of the idea that I had at the beginning. Was just I want to take the newsroom idea. Okay, why is she saying that? I wonder if it's limiting me to 5 people on this YouTube channel because she can't come in.
I thought it was like 10 or 12.
It should be 10 or 12. She's saying she can't come in with that link. I don't understand why she's saying that. It says call is unavailable. Try again in a few minutes. That doesn't make any sense because...
Looks like Neil just joined, so it's not 5.
Yeah, okay.
How's it going?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hello to everybody from Houston.
Yeah, I'll invite her separately. Hi, how you doing? Trying to get Dana in here. She's having some issues. There you are. Yeah, let's see what she says. Okay, so I'm sorry. Who just showed up? Nigel. Hey, Nigel. How you doing, man?
How you doing? We'll see.
Oh, you're super cool.
Area right now.
So I can barely hear you. I need to turn up your volume here. Hang on a second. Nigel, where are you? Kick you up there. All right. Okay. I'm just going to continue on, and I'll catch Dana up on this. I'm not sure what's going on there. Nigel, what you just missed was that we've got a gentleman working on graphics, another gentleman working on motion graphics, and we're putting a triage thing together to do the Madison event in on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We will have Chris there. Chris, what do you have for a smartphone?
I have an HTC One, which is a pretty recent smartphone. It's got Sprint as the provider, so the network can be spotty. In Madison, I don't know. I haven't been there too much with this phone to know how it'll react.
Okay. Yeah, I've had, to be honest, with cell phones, I've had better broadcast than I've had with other devices, so I'm not worried about it. Whenever it comes through, I'm sure it'll be fantastic for where you are. The only thing that when you get there, I don't know if everything's happening indoors and there's no way that you can actually broadcast from in there. I really doubt that you will be able to. It's going to be too loud. It's going to be crazy. Right?
My backup plan on that at this point, I sent an email out to the campaign to try and make sure that I can bring in my DSLR camera, which can do high-def video, and I've got telephoto lens if I'm far back, and I've got a regular one if I'm somewhat close, and so I was thinking I would actually try and run video on that, assuming that my cell phone doesn't work for some kind of a live stream, so then you could actually have quality video after the fact.
That'd be great. That would be great. Any pictures? Yes, all that stuff's fantastic. If you can run video without audio during the show, that's fine too. And just show us like live scene and what's going on, right?
Yeah, there's an onboard microphone on the camera, which obviously isn't ideal, but it'll pick up enough. And depending on where I'm sitting, I mean, the roar of a crowd will probably overdo a lot of audio anyway.
Right. Yeah, but and then for bringing, we'll have to see what the actual event timing is. I don't know if it like starts at 7 and he's just going to get up there in front of the stage and start going. What I want to figure out is how do you want to time the live event? We could, and I'm asking everybody here, this is going to be run like a sports show, kind of, like a football game. We need to have a host and a co-host. We need to pick who those people are. They don't necessarily need to have experience with Hangouts or in being in front of a camera. They just need to have the confidence to try. Right? I need a comments moderator, and that is the most essential person. I need somebody who is looking at the comments coming from YouTube and coming through Twitter and letting the people, the host and co-host, know that these comments exist when it's appropriate. If you haven't watched one of our Social Media Today shows, the Power Talks, just skip through it to get an idea. Towards the end of the shows is where the comments happen in the integration. And
I think we lost him.
Yeah, it looks like we lost someone, and then John froze.
Hey, Ryan. Did you make a graphic of you making that shirt?
Yes, that was me.
I love it. It's so nice.
I've been making. I made another one, and I made one last night for my wife. With writing.
Hello.
Hey, Dana, how's your day going?
Hey. How's it going?
It's going all right.
I think we're waiting for John to get back. He got disconnected.
Yep.
His power went out. He's coming back.
There's a lot. It's a big.
Where's everybody from?
I'm from San Francisco.
Hey.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, originally from Australia.
Australia. Wow. You say you're in South Carolina now?
North.
North.
Yeah.
I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There he is.
this is not the machine that will be running the production. This is Mac.
You need a backup generator there, John.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. I need to get this gear out of my office in my house and put it in a place that actually is supposed to have this kind of stuff. But that's down the road. Okay, what did I miss? Did you guys talk about anything while I was out?
It's more like an awkward silence.
Yep. Professionally awkward.
Is there anybody in comments that we've seen?
I commented, just briefly.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to get back to the...
Brian said he could be a comment moderator. In a comment.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't lost.
Okay, good. Okay, so how many of you guys have been in a Google Hangout before?
Yep.
Everyone? No one? No one?
I haven't.
Not really.
Okay. Okay, well, welcome. This is it. Just really quick on the interface. It bounces back and forth between who's talking. I talk a lot, so it's probably stuck on me. You can click on a square, and it will stay on that person. This used to be called blue boxing because it turned the box blue. Now it doesn't. If you hover into the center of the screen, you'll see some controls show up at the top. From left to right, that's inviting people. And if you click on that, and do you have that option, guys, to invite people?
No.
No, let us add.
Okay, so they didn't give you the option. I don't know how to make that happen. Whatever. Not important. Then you have mute microphone. All right.
Yeah.
You can mute yourself there, and you can unmute.
Sweet.
But if you mute yourself in the square, so you can hover over yourself in a square, all right? Don't mute yourself there, because you can't unmute yourself.
What? Is it a glitch?
It's just weird. I don't know why it works that way.
It's a design feature.
You have to unmute yourself from the top red button, all right? And you can mute other people. And from here, I can mute anyone or take your camera off. So what I'm trying to say is that we have a way to make sure that jackasses don't show up and try to do things, okay? And I'm not expecting that. I want this to be an above-the-board positive. We are not going to do any mudslinging. We're not going to do any of the tactics that the other parties would do. We're not going to be the news. We're going to be us. Okay?
Another thing to consider with that is if you limit the amount of video input from people, it can oftentimes help with the connective stability. If everybody's running video, it can really slow down the frame rate and sometimes cause a crash.
It absolutely can. You're absolutely right. So for the broadcast, like on this right here, this is what it's going to be, and it's being throttled because it's a Hangout on air and the way it functions. When we do the actual broadcast, that's not going to be an issue production-wise. If a person comes in and they have crappy bandwidth on their end, it'll certainly push me a crappier picture, but my hardware will actually boost that up, and we'll push out a 720p 60-frame HD signal anyway. It'll just what it looks like. So yeah, I upstream it, and we won't need to worry about the Hangout having to hold all that. The Hangout we use for our live event is not a Hangout on air. It's just going to be a private Hangout.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the control center, production room.
Exactly. Yes. And then I use live streaming software to wrap it to make it look like it's a network, a real network. So, lost my train of thought. So that's another thing. And okay, thank you. That's a good point. So anybody that is going to be on camera, you need at least a 720p HD camera. Most of them are these days. You need a decent connection to the internet. If you're going to be a host or hostess, we can't have you in there for an hour with pixelated, bad frame rate. I need volunteers for those two things. I'm not expecting it out of the group that's here right now. We have to decide that, I'm going to say, by Sunday. And we've got lots of people that are inputting, and we'll push it to the community. Community and Google Plus is where I need to be headquarters just for this, because I don't know of any other place where I can do the organization better, because it's all connected with the Google universe. Twitter, of course, will be our generic, flyer base, our generic information portal. But I am not a big Twitter person. I don't do a lot there. So if anybody would like to take that account and do work with it, please, I need a volunteer there. And I can get you into Rebel Mouse. Dana's doing a lot of administrative stuff with me and helping me organize pieces of the show. I'm bouncing everywhere.
I'll figure the Twitter out and post as Twitter, but we probably should have like a bunch of people.
Yes.
Posting from that account.
Here. I'm dropping in the. So if you hover over the Hangout middle again, you should see a menu that shows up on the left-hand side. There's probably some stupid What's Hot app at the top, and then underneath that is a useful thing called the chat box. It's a blue square.
I
click
see
on that.
Ryan dancing. Ryan Farr? Is that your last name? This is like a little gift.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh,
No.
Yeah. You might see my screen, my GIF.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so if you click on the chat, it's an in-Hangout chat, which means this chat disappears when we leave. All right. We have a permanent chat, but it's separate from this. So, get that message? All right, I got a whole lot back from Dana. Greetings. Wonderful. Everybody sees it. Fantastic. Well, we're getting there. That's in Hangout chat. You can share links. We can attach drive folders, do all sorts of fun stuff. All right, this is a way for us to communicate with each other. However, we cannot use this chat when we are live because it affects my camera shots.
okay.
So we never use this chat when we go live. We can use the separate Hangout chat, and it will exist. Okay? We can talk to each other in a separate chat in Google+, completely separate entity from this. All right?
But what about the conference, the video conference and voice? Will that still be live in this location? Or are you just talking about the chat window right now, or are you talking about this entire...
We're live right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when we go live on Madison. We actually do a real broadcast.
Yeah.
The Hangout we're using for the pictures, we can't use this in-house chat.
Okay.
It screws up my pictures. If somebody opens the chat and then closes it, it actually messes up what I get.
Gotcha. Yep.
I literally take your screenshot and port it into a machine that thinks it's a camera. Literally. So I trick 3 systems into thinking we're doing something normal.
Yeah.
So now the next thing down is screen share. And that's uber important. We use that all the time. So you guys, one of the basic tools we have is if you're somewhere with your phone, if you're somewhere with a laptop, anywhere, if you're where the action's going or you want to show something, or all you have to do is pull up whatever it is. If it's a Bernie meme, if it's a video you're watching, and literally you can pull up a video on screen share and we can watch it that way. So you can practice sharing your screens in here, but it's really cool because then I just take that and I push it out on camera. The other thing we can do is load in YouTube videos, and that should be the very last icon that you see at the bottom.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt, but
Oh, no, please.
when you're on your phone, do you have all these features, or is it just the?
You can. What you can do on your phone, which is fantastic, is you can change the camera, right?
Right.
So you reverse camera and go, this is what I'm seeing, everybody.
Okay.
I'm the roaming reporter, and here's where we're going. This is live action view, right? Just make sure you don't run into anything.
But you have all these features available to you on mobile.
No, you're not going to have. I mean, you'll have the chat option. You're not going to have the. I mean, the share screen is reverse camera.
That's what it automatically goes into share screen when you do that?
No, I mean, no, you can't really share the screen on your mobile device in the Hangout.
Okay.
So it would be a laptop, maybe a tablet probably has that option, right?
Okay.
You can do multiple tabs in that, but mobile devices have a Hangout application as opposed to what we're doing here with the desktop, right? Right. So that would be people that are at home on a desktop or a laptop or tablet that's capable, and they want to show us media.
Okay.
YouTube is easier. If you guys are in the Hangout and you find a hot YouTube video for Bernie or whatever it is, somebody passed it to us, you can drop it. You click on the YouTube app and drop a link in there and play it, and I can show it on screen.
Can you do that for a Hangout on air now? I remember initially you couldn't do that for a Hangout on air. Show YouTube videos.
Right. We're not using a Hangout on air.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
What's the difference?
So this environment here is a Hangout on Air. Like I actually have a button that says Stop Broadcast. Right? So we're broadcasting live to everybody right now. There's like a yellow live button in the upper right, and it's out on YouTube. And so we're limited to the controls they give us in this environment. Right? But I don't use these controls. You guys can use these controls. All I care about is what you're giving me.
Okay.
So live stream says, I don't care, Hangout. I'm going to broadcast what I want. All right. That's how this works, which is probably why Google does not like me much. Okay, so we talked about video. We can do that. You'll see some other apps in here. There's like a cameraman app that gives you some extra controls and welcome to play around with it. But this is a couple other things. Hover to that upper menu at the top. Yes, and you see. Did you see that little window pop up in the Richard above your chat statement?
No.
I'm sorry. I was goofing around with YouTube. I didn't miss.
No, that's totally fine. So what happens should show up for you guys above my square.
Mm-hmm.
Show a little chat window. It says "Hey there" in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, it embeds each message above the user at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That shows up in your shot.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the difference is that we don't have a broadcast button, Dana. We're not doing this.
And that's why you said that we shouldn't use this chat utility while we're live. Is that another reason? Okay.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. What else? I have a list of things. Were all able to look at the workflow? Did I even give you the workflow? Or did I skip over that? Hang on. Let me drop this again. I went too far.
I got it.
Did you?
I can do that.
Yay. Okay, Hey, M. Hein. How you doing there? Hi, folks. What's your first name? Or is it just M? M is fine.
Hi, M.
Hey, M.
Can you hear us? You're probably muted. Let's see.
Yep, he's live.
Awesome. So, Mr. Hein is the individual who's been talking to me in chat separately about helping out, finding some type of funding. There's a lot of catch-up. I'm happy to catch you up with this stuff. Right now, I'll just say that we're preparing for the Wednesday event. Okay, do you guys all have the workflowy?
Yeah. Well, speak for myself.
So M, take a look at hover into the middle of the Hangout. I don't know how familiar you are with the Hangouts. If you hover in the middle, there's a menu on the left. Click on the blue chat icon. It'll open up a menu on the right. And there's a link to a workflowy document.
Is that the right link, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like it. Yes. So this, I don't know if everybody's familiar with workflowy, but those little nodes open and close, and if you click directly on them, it just takes you to that as the focus. And we're all fairly familiar with the. Let me know if anybody has issue with looking at that or accessing that now before I move on. Okay. So this is the grand plan for ongoing, which is to create regular event series that have a host, co-host, a moderator, social media engagers. The host and co-host can be impartial, or they could represent the Bernie campaign, or they could represent the 99. I'm open to how you want to handle that. I guess we could ask the host and co-host what they want to do. I would prefer that the host and co-host be the same people each time, barring not able to actually do the event due to whatever. But this way we have a consistency. but I'm also open to rotating at least one individual in and out because I don't want it to seem like we're setting, this is the way it is. We're going to bring in people from other places, so we'll always have a host, co-host, comment moderator, and guests from somewhere, right? Whether it's live reporting from an event or whether it's live reporting for an event or just somebody who has something to say, there's so many different things we can go after in terms of discussion. We can ask for people to submit videos of testimonies as to why they're voting for Bernie. We could have people come on and tell us what's going on with the Bernie campaign in their town. I mean, the list is endless. What needs to happen is to get the pattern organized. I've got a form that we will use, and the form is a process. And that's the wife. And the form is a process that we need to adhere to make everything easy. It goes into Google Docs. And then loads a spreadsheet for me, and that spreadsheet provides all the data that I need for the production. Okay, so the shows, I'm thinking 30 minutes apiece. We could do our events. There's at least 30 minutes of pre-green room time and at least 30 minutes of post-cleanup. So either way, we're looking at spending an hour of time putting these together, right, for each live event, and I'll need at least one person to be with me doing that green room process.
What do you think about trial run? We can all figure out how this works and practice. And
yeah, I would like. I'm open to any date to do that except for Sunday before 1 p.m. because I have to go do scuba stuff. But I can set up the test environment. I can bring everybody in. I can show everybody what it looks like broadcast, and we can practice all of these roles and figure our crap out. If you guys want to figure out when we can try to do this, we definitely need to do a dry run, or it's going to be a grand train wreck.
Right.
John, just to let you know, it looks like this next tour campaign stop is going to be at 7 p.m. Central. My workday doesn't formally end until 8 Central, so I am reluctant to commit to that, just in case I get called in on an emergency.
Not a problem, man. You're doing so, Rich. You're doing things that are. If you get back and you show up and the event's still going on or there's still conversation in the chat, join.
Cool.
But you're already doing things, and I would rather you focus on those things, please.
Cool.
They are uber important for us. And that's for everybody. Give what gifts you can. If you can't make the event, fine. If you can't be part of the broadcast production, fine. There's so many other things that we need, and I just want to look at the workflow. There's a node called immediate needs. Does everybody see that? Other than those of you who are driving or outside or wherever you are, Chris, see wandering around.
So, is there anything specific that you wanted from me since I'm going to be the one at the event right now?
No, just connect with me privately so that I can get your address and send you some, and so that you and I can have a conversation outside of this. Now's not a good time for us. We need to pick another day, and I need to find out what you have. I need to send you a mobile gear. That's all, and it'll connect with your phone. We just need to talk about that and coordinate. So
I'll send you a message with my address, and we'll figure that all out.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
So Chris is going to be our on-site reporter for this event.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. He's got a DSLR. He's going to try to get in and take some really high-quality media. All of the media is great because we've got two creatives that are willing to work with that media and do some amazing things with it. So, and that would be Rich and John Papa in Rhode Island. So, you know, we really actually have the core of what we need to be a media channel, and we just need to fill these other spots. Who, and I'm guessing from the group here, I don't have anybody who's done comment moderation, which is totally cool. I'm going to hit up some people in Google Plus directly that, and if you're, is anybody live, sorry, hey live people, is anybody live that's hearing this and wants to plop in on chat? Let me see if I can look at the event. I probably should have put out a blast letting everybody know this was happening a lot more. Thank you for dropping that in, Richard.
Sure.
So the social media people are pretty obvious, just engaging in social media during the event, and that's really just having conversation. And if we were going to get more strategic, it would be looking for people that are either trolling or that are combating it. You know, we're looking for people to convert, right? We're looking to have discussion with people that have issue, and the trolls we can just love to death. All we've got to do is be nice. It's the easiest way to diffuse, and we end up making a nice Bernie statement. So that's really what the social media stuff is. If I can't find anybody to do green room producer, I will take one of you, if you're willing, and spend a little bit of time just showing you private Hangout management, because what that person will do is be inside a separate private Hangout. Okay, so it's just a separate conference call, like this one, without the live button. That will be our green room environment. So you'll bring, for Madison in particular, you'll bring Chris into that green room environment. You'll find out what's going on with Chris, make sure everything's okay. Is he in a spot to go live, or has he been told to get out, right? We need somebody to be in contact with him that's not in the live broadcast and that's not paying attention to the live broadcast currently, so we get him ready, right? That person is going to feed the information to me in the production studio. Chris is ready, he's set up, he's got good audio or bad audio or no audio, who knows, right? But I need to know these things before we bring him in live. Then we give him a link to the actual Hangout, which is just another private Hangout. He comes in, and then the host and co-host say, it looks like we've got Chris with us live from Madison. At this point, I've had an opportunity to inform the host and co-host what the situation is, right? And we don't do live like... How many of you have seen how Jimmy Fallon does the Tonight Show now? Anybody watch that?
I don't watch him.
Okay.
I've seen it. I don't really pay attention that close.
See, you got to start watching more TV. I'm borrowing all these techniques from the networks and making them work on the web.
The irony.
I know. It's really funny. They're just now understanding that they need to have a conversation, but they're having such a hard time with it. Jimmy Fallon is doing a really cool thing because it's wide open. You see his production assistant. You see his production crew. They don't try to hide the fact that this is a live broadcast, right? So when we're on camera or when we're in live production, I will be talking to people live. Hey everybody, this is John in the production studio, and Chris just got here. We're bringing him in right now. Give me a few minutes. So,
that sounds like you're the host then.
No. No,
that's like that's the control room, mission control, juggling cameras and angles and whatnot.
Exactly.
That's what the host does?
No. That's what John's going to be doing.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
He's the guy, like at the Emmy Awards, he says go to camera 4, go to camera 13 right. At this time, and just executing the production.
Who's going to be
if you've seen the newsroom, I'm functioning currently as Charlie and whoever's in the executive production office. All right, so it's actually just the production engineering office, which is why I would love to get another pair of hands here to help me with that. The host, Dana, is doing it a whole lot more because they have to keep things going live. Right?
Oh boy. Okay.
So that's why I want somebody who's seasoned in front of camera, if we can find one, because, and if Alex would do it, I'd have her. But basically, they're the person who says, all right, I have to fill this time. I'm going to fill it with. So we'll build out a production plan for the event on Wednesday. I need to talk with Chris a little bit more about that once I understand what his timing is. What do you guys think about? Here's my initial thought. He goes on at 7. My guess is he's going to start speaking soon after 7 or right at around 7, right?
Yeah.
We can find a schedule on this, but I would say we go to broadcast 15 minutes before that and start talking about stuff, just getting things ramped, and we'll have plenty of footage to show. We'll have live coverage. By that time, we'll have sourced some media. 15 minutes to go in. There's several different ways we can watch the event. I can pull it on screen from somebody else, like CNN or somebody else, and just push it out so we can watch it. Or a simpler way to do it is we all watch it on a separate screen of ours, right? And whoever's involved in a live broadcast, and obviously people who are remote mobile can't do that, but that's just going to be Chris, really. And I lower the volume, and what you guys are doing is kind of a play-by-play. So you don't have to talk all the time. We're having engagement within the text comment layer, talking about what Bernie's saying. So the host and co-host aren't going to be on camera during this time all the time. I may be showing pictures of Bernie. I may be showing social media blurbs. I may be showing comments. So the host and co-host need to get the show started, get things ramped, talk about what's going on, introduce who's there, and then say, now we're going to watch Bernie. And then while we're watching Bernie, they're making small comments, right? Love what Bernie had to say about that. Oh, look, a great tweet about this. Anytime it seems like it's getting boring or whatever, and so we're going to have to play it kind of like that. And I know this sounds like we're pulling it by the hair of our teeth, which sounds ridiculous. Where did that come from? It's going to flow like that because it's live until we've done this a few times. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There's a beautiful synergy that happens when the comment moderator and the host and co-host in the audience realize that they are having a conversation, and it will happen. And then it'll just flow. And you won't worry about what's going on, and you'll feel comfortable with asking me. And I want it to be like that. It should be more of an open broadcast, right? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to say the wrong thing or to look weird or to not realize you're on camera. We're trying to remove that pretense. At the same time, we want to deliver professional news, professional information, and provide a professional event that is honest and truthful and not riddled with corporate shit, right? So we have an interesting balance. We want professional, human.
What if this isn't televised? I mean, how do we get to see what's going on?
Somebody will have pictures of it, and if it's not televised and we're the only people there with a remote showing it, then we'll be the only people who has it. I mean, come on.
I have a big feeling that at a minimum there will be multiple Periscope streams live.
Yeah. That'll be the fun part because we can ask the 99 for the source. Where is it? Where's the media?
Right.
That's part of the power we have is we can actually directly connect to the web en masse and say, hey guys, where is it? Right? Help us. Be a part of the show. Come on. That's once we get this flowing and we can send people to the forums, we can have a very simple form that's I want to be a field reporter. Here's the gear I have. I am familiar with Hangouts. I will be at this event at this time. Here's how you contact me.
Right.
And we set them up. We get them in green room. We move them to live. Everybody's a reporter. Right? Everybody's sending in media. Everybody's providing pieces. And now back off from the live. Something I've been talking with Rich and John Papa about is the fact that anybody that wants to create any kind of piecework. So an emotionally charged video that's got music and Bernie talking, and we've seen a bunch of these that people have done. I love making those things. They're my favorite things to make. Anybody that wants to put those together, they can slap whatever credit they want. Send it to us. We'll broadcast it. We need these things to fill the time between what we're saying, right?
I think that would be something that I'm going to end up doing here on the West Coast, trying to get, engage with people on the street and hopefully get little snippets or, Instagram picture people with a blurb about why, they support Sanders. So probably one of the things I can do to help most from where I'm at this point.
Awesome, awesome. That is what we need. I mean, if nothing else, we need people rallying that media. We'll provide a central point. We'll need to collect it as YouTube links if they want to push it that way, and then we'll ask for like MP4 if it's more of a like 60 minutes piecework or something. You know what I mean? Because we can work with different kind of media pieces. People that supply media without audio for voiceover or media with voiceover, and yeah, if you can do any of that kind of stuff, any of it is fantastic, and we will use it all. And as long as we make a form where they can tell us what they want credited, where do you want credited and how, we'll make that happen. So I don't know that we're going to get enough material in the next month to fill a 24-hour news station, and I'm certainly not able to stay up that long. But we could certainly do 9 to 5 or 12 to 12. I can certainly handle that if I've got material coming in. So,
is it possible to start scraping existing YouTube videos and just
Absolutely.
put them on scheduling?
Absolutely. Schedule no, but I can create a way. I don't think about that.
My concept was possibly have constant media rolling even if it's not live.
Yeah, John, if I could just make a quick comment about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're very faint, but yes. Let me try to boost you.
Yeah. There's a channel availability on Roku, ROKU. It is limited. Only people with the Roku box can watch it. But we could establish basically a Bernie channel, and then you could have a set of videos that people can watch whenever on demand, and you can also have live streaming if you choose, or you can have a lot of recorded material, and that's just one other option to consider.
That's awesome. I don't use Roku. We're using YouTube, but are you familiar with that world? Would you be willing to set up a mirror site for us there?
I can research it and get back to you offline on that.
That'd be fantastic. I'd love to mirror. I might be able to stream to both places at once, and if that's possible, that just widens the audience. So that would be fantastic. I like the idea of a 24/7 broadcast. Rich, I need to think about that because
in my mind, it may be as easy as playing multiple videos on a playlist and just doing the screencast to that media player at a locked resolution. If you download the YouTube videos.
Oh no, I can do it. It's the first. I've never really thought about running it that way. It's always been live production.
Get 150 videos and put it on random and push play, and when you want to go live, kill that, and we'll go live.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be so simple. I just got to set it up to go. You're absolutely right. I can certainly do that. I can certainly do that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But I need to put that on the sideline until we get done with Madison. I really do.
For sure.
But that's a good idea. Does anybody have any questions about anything I've said so far? I realize I've gone all over the place.
Do we have any interest from anyone to be a host live?
Well, I'd like to, but I'm not ready. I'm not really positioned for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just kind of wanted to find out if anyone has shown interest through the volunteer forums.
Let me see. I mean, yes, there are people that have shown interest in the volunteer forum. We've got Casey Miller, who did not join the call, said host, co-host. Nigel, you mentioned host, co-host.
Yeah, I put my hand up for it.
Well, why not, man?
I have no problems with that.
Cool.
I mean, have you done Hangouts?
Yeah, I've done a few Hangouts before. Actually, what I do is I used to do a live Hangout on air when so at my work, I ran a service desk team, and I switched it up a notch for team meetings. Sorry, I'm getting a little confused there. End of a Friday, and created my own live on Wednesday night show, which I did. I only got to do 3 episodes, and then I got promoted to a different role. So, but still, it was fun. So I'm used to the interaction, the interviewing, the talking, the commentary, that sort of stuff.
You're hired.
Usually pretty quick on my feet.
Okay, you're hired. Done. And you've got that accent, which just makes it all better.
There you go.
You know, the accent sells, especially since we're doing, debates on American politics. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's great, right?
Well, and that's another thing I just want to say real quick. Yes, this is about getting Bernie elected. Yes, this is about a network of the people, by the people. And beyond Bernie, I really would like to see this as a long-term carry-on, an alternative to public broadcasting, an alternative model to self-governance in a lot of ways. I have no idea how we can make that work, but I just want you to know that my goal was not to simply see Bernie elected for this. My goal was to do that and then turn this into a much more powerful engine that was either like the hand of, here's mainstream media and what you want to say, here's what the people say. Right?
You could turn it into some like independent progressive network.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And because we can do real-time voting, there is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't. Why wouldn't you ask the people to vote in real time?
Right.
On issues. How do you feel about this, community? Join the discussion. We'll close the poll in a week or a month or whatever the hell it takes.
Yeah. More than that, I mean, we need to not. I mean, this whole system needs to change. It can't just be one vote, and if that person isn't elected, their vote's lost. Like, have you heard of single transferable voting, where you can actually rank your candidates, and if your candidate isn't elected by popular majority, your vote goes to somebody else.
Seriously?
So much better. Look it up after this. It would be amazing if we could implement that, but the way it is now is some people have some serious control.
Agreed. And the discussion on all of these things is one of the tenets of of what we do. I would like to have programs that discuss these issues because, above all, we have a nation of people that has been fed a load of shit for years, decades, and we have to work really kindly and calmly to change those ways. It's not going to happen with telling them they're morons. Right? It's not going to happen with telling them they're racist assholes. It's only going to happen with saying, I'm sorry, but what you believed is wrong, and we'd like to show you a better way, and listen, I am the first person who does not do that. I want to punch Mitch McConnell in the face. I want to take Boner and hang him by a tree. I am angry, but I got to keep that anger aside when we do this because this needs to be above what everybody else does. It may not look it, but it needs to be that in terms of content,
Right.
Could I ask a quick question of Nigel also?
Yeah, far away.
Nigel, if you're going to be hosting, would you feel comfortable if you had maybe 5 minutes worth of material pre-recorded so that you're having like an interview with 1 or 2 people and you can just plug that in if you've got a slot where there's nothing really happening and you need to have some filler? Do you want to have some pre-recorded material that John can just plug in?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Did you hear that, John?
Yes, and I've been talking with. Yeah. Yes, we will be having all sorts of pre-recorded media. I want that. Anything you can send, we'll put a location for that to be collected.
Yeah, what Em was saying. Sorry, did we get your first name, Em? I feel like I'm 007. Oh, that was Q, wasn't it? Not M. That was Q.
My
What
name
he
is
was
Matt.
saying was a pre-recorded interview.
Oh, yeah. That's all. That's fine. All any canned media, we just call that canned media. Any pre-production media that you want to. Hang on, I think there's somebody at my door, guys. Keep talking about that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, John has mentioned before that he's similar to what we just talked about. He's planning to have a bunch of pre-recorded media, probably Bernie's, just existing YouTube videos of Bernie campaign stop speeches, whatnot. And if there does come an unexpected dead moment on the air, he can just flip over to that and let Bernie take over the air. But yeah, that the pre-recorded human with the same host, a pre-recorded segment could also be valuable just for the consistency of the stream and the program itself.
Exactly. That's what I had in mind. If Nigel has some time before this event, and you don't have a lot of time to prepare for it, but if you would like to have a script, if there's a certain issue you want to talk about in detail, you'll have preparation before the event to go ahead and record that pre-event, run it as a canned piece, it'll look live, and then segue back to Nigel at the event. So you could have like a little studio piece or an on-site piece, and then Nigel, you don't have to, I know you're quick on your feet, man, but it's easier if you've got something you can plug in, if you've got some dead space that's consistent with the issue that's going to be talked about during the rally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Side piece. Thank you for that term, Rich. And I think that's a brilliant idea. We do those kind of things with our other shows, and yes, I want to do them. I don't know that we're going to be able to prepare something like that for Wednesday. Absolutely want to work with that. I want to do that afterwards, and it would be exactly like you're talking about. So we would start the show live, but what I prefer to do is you read the script and get that all down, separately, and I can record that from here actually. Okay, we do that separate. Then I take that entire piece and we plug that in the middle of the live broadcast, right? That's what you were saying, right, Matt?
That's right.
Yeah. We can do those. Those are brilliant pieces, and they're perfect, and they're very 60 minutes, and they look very pro. I definitely want to do those. John Papa is going to make us some of those for down the road. Matt, if you can make those, fantastic. We're going to create one collection point for that kind of media, and we'll need to separate what it is. And yeah, I want to have a catalog of this stuff. Anybody can drop a voiceover. Anybody can drop that media, right? Because it would be very easy on the program. Let's just assume that Nigel ends up hosting, 12-hour program, right? So, hour 4.
I'm being optimistic.
Here we are, hour 13.
Yeah.
Well, let's assume that we have 6 million viewers that don't want anything but Bernie 24 hours a day.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you can cut into that anytime, and what's nice is because we're not 60 minutes, we don't have to care about how they do things. So you can say, oh, we have a wonderful piece that was submitted by such and such from Charleston, and it's talking about X. Let's watch that piece together, and then after the piece, you can say, what a lovely piece. We think, there it is, right? Because it's crowdsourced media, it's crowdsourced pieces. So we're just a person who's introducing what's next, and, we will eventually have a program schedule, right? And that will probably include, for the next hour, we're going down because everybody needs to go get coffee. I don't know. So, I like it. I like it.
I would readily volunteer to do the green room activity, but again, the campaign stops, the speeches themselves will likely overlap with my working hours. And I just don't want to put anybody in that position.
Absolutely cool. I appreciate it.
I think that's going to be an issue for most of us, right? Is sort of working hours and that, and that's why we've got to have a rotation. Some quality backups, or not even backups. Shouldn't even call them that. But we do have 3 or 4. I know what you're saying, John, about getting consistency, but at the same time, having 3 or 4 for every spot at least ensures we can have continuity as well.
That's true. It's true. I mean, I really only need one host person. Co-host is kind of getting lavish.
Okay.
comments moderator can be trained to anyone, and I can do that rather quickly as long as we can just hand them off the comment tracker, right? Yeah, you're right. I mean, I know we need to get on a rotation. I'm kind of in the middle of the triage thing for Wednesday and long-term stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get it. I get it.
Can it kind of just be compartmentalized? Couldn't you show 2 or 3 people how to do the comment moderation and let those 2 or 3 people coordinate amongst themselves to make sure that the live business is covered?
Yeah, all I really need to do, I mean, yes, and that's what the form will be for, is like who's filling the slot for this show, and they'll need to be on a half hour before we actually go live. That's all, Yeah.
I guess my logic.
Oh, sorry.
I guess my logic there is that if one person is able to moderate the comments, but they're called away because their kid fell down the stairs or something, you don't just want the whole comment utility to be down. So it may be beneficial to have more than one person able to do those things.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's live TV. Anything can and will happen.
No, I agree. It's been hard to find people to actually do this at all. So there's lots of people that have volunteered. I don't know how many of you are watching live or comments. Don't know that we have any comments. I will reach out to all of them after this, and we're just going to, and I'll list what I need, I guess, plainly in the community, and get somebody to respond. Well,
hopefully, John, after we do the first 1 or 2, maybe there'll be enough people that are watching and going, wow, look at that schmuck up there that's being a host. I could do much better than him, and then they'll raise their hand, or whatever. Because sometimes that's what you need. You just start the ball rolling, and then people go, hey, I could actually do better than that, and they come out of the woodwork. So. Well,
yeah, we've got 21 volunteers right now. I mean, there's 21 people that have signed up to do that. That's plenty of people. These are just, you guys are the ones who had the time to show up here. I mean, I'm excited. We just got to get connected with these other people and figure out what they do. I'm sure within the other, people that we've got these roles covered. Right? I'm sure we do. And you got to understand something else. There's a few connection pieces that are going on here. One of them is I'm a member of Maker Max. Not that much of a big deal, but it connects me with the gamer world. And Maker I'm a channel partner with Maker, so they will see this information, and I'm hoping that I can slide this over into the Maker world and get some of their traction. That's one of the reasons we're doing this through SEO-wise, or why I started the videos through SEO-wise, is because they're actually the head channel partner with Maker. Doesn't mean anything. Lots of people are partners with Maker. That's nothing big. What else was I going to say? I have Rebel Mouse. Anybody familiar with Rebel Mouse? Real quick. Anyone?
I've seen the last couple of days.
Okay.
I did log in and try to add the Reddit account to one of the posts, but I don't think I had the ability to edit a post.
It's you got okay. It's weird. Yeah. I got to find somebody who knows Rebel Mouse, because it's such a pain in the ass. Hang on a second. Twitter engages program assistant, independent video creators. We talked about that. Great content for. And anybody that is actually a writer that wants to write any kind of content, blurbs that we can, any kind of blurbs, especially that we can hand to a media creative like Rich or John and have turned into a meme or something. We want to create memes, right? So we want to reach out to writers in that sense. Anybody that's good at coming up with jokes or good taglines or trendy little phrases, right? Let's grab them. Or if we can find them and they're good but they're on ugly background, let's get them to a media creative, because we can make them nice. And if any of you guys play with media, that's the goal is to just completely flood the web with discussion and content about Bernie, because the traditional networks have no idea what to do with it. They have no idea that this is where the 99 live, and we're just going to destroy them from underground that way, because they have no clue.
Right.
So we need to come at them that way. Does anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? Go back to the other level.
Is there another call or hangout tonight with those 21 other volunteers?
No. This was. I had really messed up telling everybody it was 7 p.m. PST, which was stupid. There's not another call. I will probably reach out I will send a mass email to the people that are on the list now, You should be getting emails when I send things in the community, when I check that box.
Yes, I've gotten one.
I'm going to do that until I know that everybody's functioning in there, and then we'll coordinate from there. The big problem that I have right now, guys, I'll just be honest, is that I have another show to do at 9 a.m. that same day. So I'm preparing for that show, and now we're triaging for Madison, which is fine. So right off the bat, I'm going to say, Nigel, if we get in and we broadcast 15 minutes beforehand and we cover 30 minutes of Bernie talking, and or even if 20 minutes of Bernie talking, and then we get Chris to be outside for a second and we're done, I'm happy. Right? I'm not expecting anything beyond being able to put you on screen with some other people and bring somebody in from a remote location. That's the goal here. All right?
Yep.
And then
Nigel, can I get your contact information, please?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely reach out through. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, and let's. Excellent, Dana. Meme away. And if you need, so there's you like making memes, great. Let's everybody connect on each other's gifts so that we know what we're capable of doing. All right.
Yeah, Dana, if you think of a good catchphrase, or like John said, if you see a great content in an existing meme, but the imagery is crappy, let me remake it and
yes,
make it better, more appealing.
Yeah.
We should drop these all in Google Docs, I guess.
Yeah, we have the Google Drive live. And
Right.
what I'd like to do from the media perspective is just to have sort of a mutual understanding that, if you see a good image of Bernie, there are very few professional promo pictures of Bernie out there for one reason or another, high resolution. So as you come across them, I'd love if we just made it a habit to dump it into our media folder on Drive.
Yeah.
I already have a bunch of them saved.
Right. I have a number of them that I can copy them over to Drive here shortly.
Fantastic. Let's get them out. Let's get them. What I would like from can we have a like a pre and a finished folder so that we know what not to grab and what to grab?
Yeah, I use a working directory, and then the final is typically named final.
Beautiful. And what we need to do is let everybody, once we get this creative work starting, bad, I gotta do this. Ryan, shit, I forgot your name. Ryan, like you said, you'll be rallying the troops out where you are to provide this information to take it and do things with it, right? And that's more important than anything else. Once we get this information coming in, we're moving. Let me look at something else here.
Does anybody have a direct line of communication to the various regional Bernie groups, like New York for Bernie, any of those dedicated groups?
I think they're all separate groups.
They likely are, but my idea is that many of them are holding periodic meetups.
Yes.
And if someone were to just grab their phone and record it, that's more authentic material than just canned Bernie videos on the channel.
Absolutely. That's a brilliant idea. And yes.
It's a fantastic idea if you can ask each of the regular meetups to record some of their meetings and upload those. You can actually put that as part of a channel or a sub-channel.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And it wouldn't take much for one of the production editors, to just slap some intro, outro on it, do some quick cuts, and make it, okay for web.
All right, Ryan, you got to go?
Yeah, I got to run, guys.
Thank you so much
for all the information.
Nice meeting you.
Let's try and sync up offline in the next couple of days, John.
Sounds good, man. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a good night, man.
Good night.
Cheers.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't have currently, aside from direct messaging folks on Twitter, I don't have a direct line of communication with those groups.
So this is one of the reasons why I would like somebody to help with our Twitter channel, because we have been picked up as the only Bernie TV, and we are getting a lot of traction. not that we have a ton of followers, but that's not important. What's important is who we're getting attached with when we blast things. And so our message is actually being put in front of people, like important people. So we really should use that channel to get that message out and use that channel to reach these individuals. And say, and all we need to do is say, hey, after Madison, we say, hey guys, hang on, let me back up. Rich, I think what you and I should talk about after Madison is a infographic with the gist of what we're doing and visual links to where they need to go to stick stuff. Right? We can create something really quick. It's like, want to help Bernie? Here's how. Put media here. Put this stuff here. Do these things. Right? We could make a simple info card for that.
Sure. Absolutely.
And then we hand that out and push that out and get that to the show. And all we have to do is say, we'll be doing our next event, and we choose our next event date, and we say, we're looking for your Bernie media. And I guarantee you we will be inundated with Bernie media.
Yeah, and even who, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the man that's going to be on the ground there in Madison.
Chris.
I mean, he could take that infographic, print it out to the tune of 300 flyers and give them to every kid who has a cell phone, and that's that.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Right.
I mean, we can do all sorts of things like that. That's great.
But if we can get something like that out beforehand, show us how you're getting ready. Are you driving 6 hours to see Bernie?
That's a good point. Yeah, if we get it out for Madison, that'd be fantastic. I just know what your time is. I mean, if you got time to crank out something like that.
Man, this is, as far as I'm concerned, I'm running for president as well. So I want this to happen in a big way. And if it's as easy as standing up and organize a Google Drive folder and getting that flyer out, that's a 4-hour project.
Okay, I'll work with you and let's do it. And then just collecting media. For me, it's just collecting the media and getting organized. Nigel, for the live event,
yes,
we'll have two kinds of media. I'll have some that's preloaded here, and there'll be some that we'll be pulling off a screen, like a YouTube or something. All right. It's gonna be real loose. And I'm saying that for me. Really, I'm saying that for me because I'm really a stickler pain in the ass about the quality of the production. But this one's gonna be Hogan's Heroes. So
I think that's fine. First one, you dip your feet in, get them wet, and then walk away from it and say, "I'm wrong. What can we improve?"
Very true. Very true.
You're right.
Very true.
All right, I just put a note in there. I need to collect as many of Bernie's nonprofit supporting logos as possible, and also, if either any of us or any of the other volunteers that have contacted you are able to start sending links to YouTube videos that we can use for the canned footage.
Yes.
Let them do that research and build that library.
Yeah, I'm going to create a form after we're done, and it'll be a form for media submission, so it'll just dump to a spreadsheet.
Okay.
And that way we'll start collecting those links or whatever it happens to be. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I bet you're right. I bet we can get all this done before that. We just got another volunteer, Vincent Wilson from, I don't know where that is, IA.
Indiana?
Is it Iowa?
Iowa.
What?
Iowa.
Sorry, I'm terrible. Yeah, all right.
It's a Friday. It's all right. Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to drop as well.
All right.
You can hang out, seriously, just use Google Hangouts. It's like SMS now, right? To
Yes.
get me instantly, and we can communicate back and forth that way. It's probably even more efficient than email, unless it's a long-winded thing you need to send to me.
No,
Sure.
I will get the production form together, and then Nigel, you and I will spend a little time before the live event going over how the production works, and I think you'll find it's just a piece of cake. So.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm clear on the running it and sort of seeing the tweets, the moderated comments and stuff, and just bringing it together, like how many screens I'm going to need and stuff like that, just to make
sure. You shouldn't need but the one. We'll go over that, so just go ahead and, yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks, man. Everyone, good evening.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, so to wrap up here, I'm going to reach out to the rest of the 21 here and see what we got. We have a host. We may have a comment moderator. We're going to skip co-host this time. We've got somebody who's on the ground. We're going to push for media now by doing a form. And I'm going to create that. What other things do we need to remember?
And I'll be working on the static media.
Right, static media. And it's Matt, right?
Yep,
What are you going to look into the Roku?
I will.
Okay. What you tell me what you would like to focus on. If that's it, that's great. Are you engaged in social media at all? Do you hang on a particular channel?
My strength is probably in writing at this time. If
Excellent.
there is, you know, a script that Nigel might want to use as filler to prepare, maybe it would also be good for Nigel and Chris to have some communication beforehand, and it might even be great for them to videotape something before the event so it can act as an intro as well, or they could just kind of rehearse something. And I appreciate.
I know where you're going, man. No, I know what you. Okay, I got it. I got what your gift. Okay, you write me something. Just write me something. Right? I know how to. That's Rich and I. This is what I need because I'll read it and put the visual to it. Or are you the kind of person that needs the visual and then writes?
No, I can write it.
Okay, you write something. You write something about whatever it is that inspires you. Maybe about the start of the network. I would love to have something that is the start of the network. Right? Why are we?
That's a great idea.
That is
That's
perfect.
a great idea.
That is exactly what I need. If I'm not saying that it's the best words, but if you look at the words I wrote on the YouTube channel.
How long do you want it? How long a piece do you want?
3 minutes or less.
You got it.
I would like you to keep it actually between 2:30 and 3. That would be perfect for me. I am going to read it as I'm on. I am going to read it, and I will put the visual to it. This will be my introduction to the channel.
Cool.
That is what I want. That is absolutely perfect. Thank you. Dana, what else do we need to keep track of?
My notes are messy. Logo collection.
Rich, help with that? Do you want somebody dumping these for you?
That would be a big help. I mean, when my workday ends, I can jump into this, but I haven't been able to look at it today at all.
Dana, there's your next task.
The graphics for the show, the logos.
Correct. Yeah, the YouTube wallpaper, the YouTube imagery, and the background for the stream itself.
Yeah, so Dana, if you could push out Twitter messages saying we're building, that we're how's the way to say it? Basically that we're looking for those logos. If they want to be included, that's what we should say. Any Bernie supporter groups that want to be included in our, what do we call this, Rich?
I was going to say effort.
Collaborative.
Yeah, collaborative effort, broadcast effort.
I think Matt said cooperative.
Oh, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
Cooperative or collaborative, either one.
Yeah.
We have a word guy. I'm happy. You're the word guy, Matt. So something like that, make a statement, and we'll I will create we'll give them the top level of the Google Drive to send it to, Dana.
Okay.
We'll organize from there. Just give them that one link. That's good enough. And I'll create the forms a little later and send them to you and give you instructions on those. Perfect. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm good.
Hey, wait. Oh, so you said you were going to give me the link to the top level, or am I just giving you the link?
You have that. You already have the Drive top level.
So we'll just drop it in there and then we'll organize it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless you want to create, do you want to create a folder for this media in Drive and share that instead? It's totally your call.
It's not a bad idea.
I will let you be the handler of that.
Are permissions set to deny, delete, and modify?
I don't know what they are.
Because if we get a rogue Republican in there, they could just nuke the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Does anybody? I'm not a great permissions person. Dana, do you know or?
I'll have to take a look. I have not used Google Docs very much.
Okay.
But maybe we should just have people send it to us.
No, no. We're using it. Sorry, I gotta. Nope, I'm not gonna take email submissions. Nope. We will use the drive. Rich, I don't know what to do about that particular permissions. Let's see.
I can look into it.
Okay, that would be awesome. If you want to make that secure, that is great. All right, Dana, I'll send you a short link to that after I know that Rich has made it secure. So we'll just hold off on that for now.
Secure though.
What?
I don't understand. If you say make it secure, how are people going to be able to get in? Some people are going to be able to get into it, but not others.
No, they'll be able to put things in. They won't be able to delete them out.
Okay, here, I got it.
That's all we're going to set to. I just don't know how to get in there and do that right now.
Okay.
So,
Because if Carl Rowe finds our resource store, he's going to delete the whole thing.
yes, he is.
Bastard.
Yes, he is. Although, oh, here we go. Well, I can just change it to can view, right? That's all I need to do. Anyone with link can access that. We'll try that. We'll do view. All right, look, guys, I don't mean to take all your time. I think we're good here. We'll keep talking in the community and share stuff back and forth and just pull this together. And thank you. Thank you, guys.
Are we going to are we setting up another meeting, or are we going to talk about when we're going to do the trial run? Are we going to do that later?
We can do that right now, but Dana, that's just you and me. So Matt, Rich, you guys can take off if you want.
Yeah. All right. I'll be in touch with y'all shortly.
Thank you, guys.
See you later, Matt.
Okay, see you.
And I'm going to stop the broadcast.